Now, I know you're with the Oakland A's now. You're their hitting coach.
Mm-hmm.
They came in the playoffs last year with a bang, and the fans and that place is crazy. I've never seen nothing like it in my life. But it's great for baseball, and I really think the Oakland's on a team on the rise. I know they're young. You being their hitting coach, what's on the horizon for that team? Can they come back to the playoffs and make it again this year?
Well, there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to play the way we did last year. The key with that team last year is that we had a manager that was the manager of the year last year, in Bob Melvin, that just exuded confidence in those guys, and they knew that he had their back. He was an easy guy to play for, and he made sure that what he preached all year long was not about individual numbers. It wasn't about anything else other than winning. Playing together as a team, coming to work, doing your job as best you can. Last year we were a surprise team in the American League West and in the American League and in baseball. I think what happened last year was we just kept grinding it out, and before the rest of the league knew what was going on, we were so close to them, or we were ahead of them. And when they, especially with like a team like Texas, who I don't think ever expected us to do what we did last year, because they were by far the favorites to win the American League West between them and the Angels. By the time they realized how good a team we were in a position to overtake them for the American League Division champions. Now coming into this year, we're no longer that surprise team.
I'll be waiting for you now.
They know what we're bringing at them, and it's up to us as a team to go out there and not worry so much about numbers like we did last year, but to bring into this year the same mentality that we brought into last year. Last year we believed we could win. We believed we were better than people thought we were. Well, this year we need to believe that we were as good as we were last year, and we can be better. And as long as we come in with that attitude and the desire to put the work in and to maintain our focus the way we did last year, or even improve on our focus, I think we're going to be a tough team to beat this year also.
I agree with you. I don't think you're a fluke. I think you'll have an excellent year. Last question for you, Chili. The toughest pitcher you ever faced? I know you had 350 home runs, by the way, fourth on the all-time list of switch hitters, but who's the toughest pitcher you ever faced?
The toughest pitcher I ever faced, Floyd Yeomans.
Who?
Montreal Expos.
Floyd Yeomans? Not him. Come on, you got to give me better than
Let
Floyd.
me tell you, when Floyd Yeomans was on, he was good. But to be honest with you, all the great pitchers are great not because they're great once in a while, is that they were consistently good every time they went out on that mound. The Roger Clemens, the Nolan Ryans, the Steve Carlton, the Randy Johnsons, the Pedro Martinez. I can go on and on. Dave Stewart, Bob Welch.
Have you ever hit 350 home runs? Mention all them guys.
Well, I got a lot of pitches to hit. I probably should have hit more. Not off those guys.
Right.
Not off those guys, but I played with some real good players as a young guy coming up. I was fortunate to get to the big leagues in 1981. I had players around me like Jack Clark, Joe Morgan, Darrell Evans, Larry Herndon, Rennie Stennett, Reggie Smith. I had Dusty Baker with me for a part of a year. Just a lot of great players. And I learned a lot about the game when I was younger. And you have to understand that I didn't start playing baseball until I was 12 years old. I got drafted 5 years after that, and then I was in the big leagues 3 years after that. So I was pretty much still learning the game, learning the rules of the game, learning how to play the game. I decided to become a switch hitter when I went to instructional ball my first year. So I was learning how to hit left-handed. I was very fortunate to have grown up in an area where I had players like Darryl Strawberry, Shane Mack, Eric Davis, and most importantly Eddie Murray. Grew up in my area. I played with two of his brothers in the minor leagues with the Giants. So when I went home in the off season, I got to work with Eddie Murray, switch hitting. As far as I'm concerned, If there was an all-time favorite player, if someone asked me who my all-time favorite player was to watch, there were two guys that I really enjoy watching play baseball, and one was Eddie Murray, and the other was Andre Dawson. Just their style, the way they went about it. Eddie Murray being the switch hitter that he was, I feel that for a long time in my career, I emulated him throughout the minor leagues and early in the big leagues, and it was a pleasure to get together with him and work with him, not because of who he is, but because I tried to emulate him, and in working with him, he gave me a better understanding of what he did and why he did it, and what he was searching for when he made changes. So that enabled me to really focus a little more on what I was doing as a switch hitter and to understand a little more about myself as a hitter.
Well, Joey, I want to thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to interview you. Nothing but success. I wish you a lot of luck with the Oakland A's, and hopefully you'll return to the playoffs and make a splash and maybe get to the World Series. But thank you very much.
Thanks very much, and good luck with your show.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.